I'm Paige Ray. I am a commercial photographer and videographer in Los Angeles. I've been doing this for about a decade now, and I want to teach you today how I produce my photo shoots. I'm hoping this will teach you how to produce your own photo shoots or make you more comfortable with the process overall so you know what to expect. Or really, how do we do this? How do we take nothing and make it into something? It's truly the magic of photography, production, creativity. All of it comes together to make a really beautiful final product. And I'm going to walk you through that step by step. This is a 3-part series so that we can cover the full sweep of how we do an entire production. So we are going to talk about pre-production, production, and post-production. So today, pre-production. This to me is the most potent phase of a photo shoot. This is where the magic really starts to come together, because the first thing that we do in production, of course, it's after booking, after contracts are signed. The first thing that we're going to do is have a planning meeting. I want to understand better the aesthetic and the vision that you have in your mind. We have already talked about deliverables at this point. We've also already talked about final uses, where the final photos will be used, on what platforms, in what marketing campaigns, things like that. So we've already had those conversations. In the planning meeting, we are talking a lot more about visuals, aesthetics, and how we are going to nail the shoot that we're doing to get them what they need. We're also going to be talking about how we're going to assemble that shot list. What team members are we going to be working with? Do you already have team members that you are sending to me? Do I need to send you people? Do I need to refer you people? Things like that. And when it comes to team building, there are a lot of different roles on set that can be filled. It really depends on what your needs are for the project. Not every project needs a set designer, but some projects do. There are a million different ways we can do it. The things we always need are hair and makeup. I love to have a wardrobe stylist on set. It makes life so much easier, though a lot of times my clients are so tight with their style that they already know what they're going to wear and they don't really need a wardrobe stylist, but I do recommend it. I love to have an assistant on set. It's great to have a grip. It's great to have a gaff. It depends on the client's budget and what exactly it is we are making, how big our production is. So in that planning meeting, we're talking about what team members do we need? Do we have a location in mind? What are really the visuals, the aesthetics that we want to nail into, and how are we going to make sure we achieve that for our client? And also we're talking about the schedule of the day. We're talking about the coordination of it, because this is pre-production, but it's pre-production and coordination. How everything's going to flow for the day, how long this shoot is going to take, which I've already given them an estimate of before they sign the contract. If they have a lookbook and they want to shoot 20 different looks, and it's not like e-commerce shoot 20 different looks, they want to have like a separate scene or vignette for each look. That's going to be a week-long shoot, if not a 2-week-long shoot. This is going to be a long shoot. They need to know that before going in, that they're not renting a studio for a day. They're renting a studio for multiple days. So we are getting all of those details really honed in on. And then after the planning meeting, I'm location scouting. I'm recommending different locations. If I need to go see them, I will go see them. Sometimes I have worked in them before, and that's fantastic. If we are shooting on location and we are basically picking a location that is already exactly what we need for the shoot, fantastic. I love that. Sometimes I'll go visit that to make sure everything's what the photos say they are, wherever we're finding the spot. Or if we're renting a blank studio and we're going to build on that, we are very likely going to have a prop person. We're going to have a set designer. We're going to have an art director, things like that. Somebody who can build the world within a blank set. If we're shooting on location, I often like to go visit those spaces. If we're shooting in a blank studio, I don't often need to visit them because usually I've already worked in them before. After we get that location nailed down, then I'm going to put together a creative brief. Speaking specifically about the creative brief, if you want to know how I make a creative brief and what goes into a creative brief, I have made a separate video on that here. Please click through to watch. And then I'm going to make sure all of the team members get booked and get coordinated. Every team member is bringing their own specific talents, and sometimes they will also bring their own specific vision. And often that vision really plays into, emphasizes, boosts the creative direction overall. So I love to have my team members' perspective on things. And then, of course, from there, we are getting the schedule nailed down for the day. That is the coordination of it all. I need to make sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be, that they have the information they need to be where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. So I am putting together a call sheet for the day, which is saying which team members need to be where and when at what time. I'm also, since this is Los Angeles, giving them not just the address, but the parking information, where they can park, where they cannot park, what the hours for parking are, and what to look for if they are going to need parking validation, all of that fun stuff. I want to make sure that it's easy, not just for my client, but for my team to get to set and to get set up, right? So I do have a call sheet that goes out. I like that call sheet actually to go out as early as possible. If we're making last minute changes, sometimes it'll go out the day before, but unlikely. What's more likely is I'm sending that call sheet out probably at least a week before, if not earlier, once everything gets set. These photo shoots take time. I do have instances where people come to me and say, can you shoot next week? Can you shoot by the end of the week? And yes, I can figure that out. I can get it together. It is doable. It is happening. But I like to have time because sometimes there's a lot of magic that happens. There's a lot of creative ideas that start to bubble up when we're in that creative process and we have time for them to bubble up. And that is pre-production on a photo shoot. And that is how I produce a photo shoot. My personal philosophy when it comes to projects is I'm not just a photographer, I'm a director, I'm a producer, and I'm a creative director. When you're on set, you're on my set. Sometimes my client will have their own creative director, and what I always hope they have is a client representative, like a representative that's on set. Sometimes the client will be on set. Sometimes if it's a bigger business or a bigger corporation, they will send a representative to be on set to make sure everything is flowing smoothly. If you want to learn how to look good on camera and you don't know how to do it, I have a free posing guide that you will find in the notes below. Please click through to grab that. I've made it as user-friendly as possible because actually being on camera can be really easy. And yes, you are photogenic, even if you think you're not. I hope this was really helpful. If you have any questions about pre-production or any part of the photo shoot or video shoot process, drop them in the comments. I will absolutely make a video for you. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to follow, like, share, save, subscribe, all of those things that YouTubers benefit from. I love being here and I would really love to grow here on YouTube. So any clicks or helps you could give me would be very much appreciated. All right, thank you.